Men, let's have a talk. Let's have a talk. Men. Sometimes we can be going through our life and not even recognize who we may affect with our actions, our views, our perception, and to sum it all up, just how we think, period. Whether it be rational or whether it be irrational. Those decisions that we make, they affect everybody. And, a lot of us, through our life, we end up in relationships because relationships is life. You can't live in life and not have relationships. But what I wanted to talk about basically is, you know, some of the things that we demonstrate unconsciously, which is number one, irresponsibility and neglect. And this topic right here it's a touchy topic. And y'all know when I speak about things, I just don't speak about stuff just to be talking about it. A lot of things that I speak about, I have been through myself, and I know from my past challenges how it is to be going through certain things that I can identify with now that I didn't understand back then. Neglect is playing a major role in our communities, and it's affecting everybody else around us, especially our kids. A lot of us have kids by other females or by other women, and you are not with that woman, but you are now in another relationship that you may have another child, or she may have already have children inside the household. And what I've seen that what we do is when we come into these relationships, and I know this topic right here is going to be kind of touchy, but I know some of y'all going to be able to agree and some of you may not agree. But when you come in these type of relationships and you have a priority too of having a child, by somebody else. It could have been an old girlfriend or an ex-wife or something that just happened in a promiscuous moment. But what still stands is that you still have a child there that needs to have that attention on that child and not be neglected. And sometimes we get in these relationships that the other significant other is not in agreement with you dealing with the child's mother. And what that does is it causes friction between the both of you. And then what you start doing is you start making some irrational decisions that are cause and effect on that child's life, meaning that now you don't even want to deal with the child because by you dealing with this child, it's going to cause some type of confliction with you and with your significant other that you have in a household with you now. And, a lot of us, we take these responsibilities that we have and they turn into, you become irresponsible because you don't want to accept the fact that, hey, I do have a child and it's not by you or it's not by the one that you're with, but still that's my child and I need to be a man and take care of my responsibilities for that child. No matter what's going on between you and the ex, no matter what's going on between you and the old girlfriend, or just that night when it happened, the child is still here, And what I'm seeing inside our communities is, and it's a blame on both parts because I seen when the man don't want to, deal with his own child, but then I also seen at the same time that he's with somebody now in his life and she don't want him dealing with his child. And that's crazy. And we take on these ideologies in our community, and what it does, it causes damper on the child because the child sees this. So, I can go on and on and on about this situation that I'm talking about. But what I really want to say is that what you do today is going to reflect on your tomorrow. You may not think it now. You may act a certain way now concerning your child that's not in your household. But we shouldn't have these type of biases or these type of prejudice against our own children. How do I know? Because I did the same thing. The same exact thing. And I poured more, into, the household that I was in. And, her children became just like my children. But at the same time, I neglected my own. Yeah, it's the truth. I neglected my own. And a lot of us do that. A lot of us men we do this because we don't have, or we don't take the time out to have healthy, constructive conversations with the significant others. And you may be saying to yourself, well, you can't get nothing through to her. You be trying to tell her certain things and she don't want to listen. Still, there's always options. There are always options to make things better for that child. So, I just wanted to, sort of kind of get this off my chest, because a lot of the youth that I deal with, they are coming up in households that either there's another male there that's not their father, or it's a stepfather, or it's not a father at all, and their real father is in another relationship and he has no type of dealings with that child. But the father has a whole nother family, and he's taking all his time and putting it into that family and abandoning his true blood, his child, his biological child. So and being a stepfather, that's another subject title too, because there's some good stepdads out here. And big ups for brothers that come into these relationships that the woman already have a child and they accept the child as their own. Big up. But when you do that, don't forget that you still have a child that need to be tended to, and that's just real facts. And I can't talk about nothing that I never been through, because I done the same thing. I went inside a relationship and I abandoned, literally, my own child, because I didn't want no friction between the mother and the significant other that I was with at the time. And that's not a good way to think. There's always options. So remember, what you do today is going to reflect on your tomorrow. Because if you don't handle it now, that child is going to grow up and that child is going to remember when you weren't there. And when you do decide that doing the right thing to try to be in their life, it's going to be real hard to get in there. It's going to be real hard. Now think about what I said. This is real talk. What you do today is going to reflect on your tomorrow. Men, I challenge you. If you got a child that you're not even dealing with and you know that's your child, reach out to that child. Reach out to that child. I don't care what's going on. Try, because that child belongs to you. Peace and blessings.